Things got a little testy today in New York City where Donald Trump was on trial. The judge of the case really went after Donald Trump's lawyers by saying, you really want to play with me when it comes to this gag order and his constant outbursts on social media. That took place earlier today. But of course, when testimony began, David Pecker, former leader of the National Enquirer, took the stand and admitted that they struck a deal in 2015 to help the Trump campaign by locking up or locking down stories of what people were alleging affairs with Donald Trump. They call these highly, highly confidential situations. Go to my iPad. This is from the Yahoo story here. It says that Trump's then lawyer Michael Cohen fed the tabloid negative stories about rivals like Senator Ted Cruz when they sensed him gaining momentum on Trump in the GOP primary, Pecker testified. Steve Bannon also pitched negative stories about Hillary Clinton to Pecker that the Enquirer published. But they had a deal called Catch and Kill, where the National Enquirer paid $30,000 to Trump Tower doorman so he could not discuss a story of Trump fathering a child out of wedlock. The short story was not true, but Pecker said, quote, I made the decision to buy the story because of the potential embarrassment it would have to the campaign of Mr. Trump. They also had a catch and kill example involving former Playboy model Karen McDougal, who was shopping a story about her having a sexual relationship with Trump. Quote, I think you should buy it, Pecker said he told Trump, who was mayor at the time during the 2016 campaign. The thing that's really interesting here is when you look at all these crazy Trump folk who act as if this is no big deal, Mustafa, is that it shows you how they don't care, And one of the things, though, that folks have been talking about is, the impact on potential independent voters. Here's a perfect example. Now, Fox News loves doing these, what I call dumb folks in diners stories. So what they do is they send out Lawrence B. Jones, who, bruh, you need a haircut. Send him out to interview these folks in these diners. They sound like idiots. If you want to see a true MAGA idiot, watch this woman who's wrapped in a Trump flag like she's in need of a blanket, just move to tears about how much we really need this thug back in the Oval Office. Listen.
I was talking to this young lady right here. Hey, how you doing? Good morning. We were talking about the former president being under prosecution right now. What do you make of it? Do you think that is fair?
No, I don't think it's fair. It's ridiculous. They're just trying to keep him busy so he can't run.
You were telling me yesterday that as you thought about the case and you were watching about what was going on in New York, that it brought you to tears. Why is that?
Tears, because we need Trump back or else we're going to lose our country. We're going to lose our country. And what's happening with these protesters is heartbreaking. It's history happening all over again, and they don't understand how bad it could get or will get if we don't get Trump back in.
Thank you so much. Let's talk with some more folks here. Sir, how you doing?
Good.
I see you got your MAGA shirt on.
I do.
The president is...
You know what? Let's go back and listen to another idiot. I just got to listen to another idiot.
How do you feel about it? Do you think that is fair?
Not at all. They're going after him just to keep him off the trail. And if it was anybody else, it wouldn't even be a case. But just because he's the president, they're going after him. It's the only way they can win.
So the question is, guys, can Donald Trump get a fair process in New York City? Sir, what do you think about that? You got Donald Trump, he's in Manhattan, you got a DA that made a campaign promise to go after him. The area that is seating the jury, only 80% of them are Democrats and only 20% of them voted for Donald Trump. Do you feel like they can be fair?
Absolutely not. I think that the media as a whole has made it their mission to try and come together against Donald Trump, and that's all they're concerned about is beating him.
I was talking to this young lady.
Here,
right here.
let's see here, Mustafa. You notice Lawrence never asked the question, hey, do you think Donald Trump should have paid off a porn star who he cheated on his wife with? You notice that actually wasn't asked. So we'll talk about a fair trial. He's also, Mustafa, on trial for the exact same thing that Michael Cohen pled guilty to under the Trump Department of Justice.
Well, the Republicans used to label themselves as the party of family values. And when you have both reporters who won't ask the poignant questions, really they're just basic, straightforward questions, then that sort of shares the framing that they're approaching this from. The other part of it is you see individuals who wrap themselves in privilege. And privilege means that you don't have to actually deal with the facts, because the facts, the law, whatever the situation might be, no longer really apply to you, because they definitely got it wrong, because if it had been anybody else, they would be in jail. Some would say under the jail for the things that, Trump has done over the years. So to ask the basic question, is it all right for you to pay off a porn star as your wife has just had a baby? When you don't ask the basics, then that pretty much tells us exactly where you're coming from. But the deeper part is about the values of the Republican Party, or the lack thereof, when you are willing to, in many instances, call yourself people of faith, but yet the individual whom you're willing to give your vote to has no reflection of any of the major religions. Maybe if you're doing something with some Trump occultism or something like that. But, it's just a shame to see the erosion of basic values that have happened for at least a percentage of our country.
The thing that just really cracks me up, Joy, is that he's admitted, yeah, we paid her off because we didn't want the public to know, so it's going to hurt my campaign. They never bring that stuff up.
Yeah, look, when we wonder why is Trump doing all these antics, why is he threatening jury pools, why is he challenging the judge, why is he threatening a judge's daughter, why is he behaving so outrageously? When we ask why, it's because he's feeding red meat to his followers, people who would believe him. And he's trying to create a narrative that it doesn't matter what happens. It's a fait accompli. We are out to get him. And that it won't matter. He's going for voter nullification, not just jury nullification.
Right.
Because the facts, he's lost on the facts, on the merits. So he has to be on everything but the merits. That's why he keeps up these antics. And you are right. He's doing it for his cult.
I just think it's hilarious, John Quell, how he and his attorneys go, this is no big deal. This is really no big deal. Actually, it's against the law. And again, his own attorney has already gone to jail. His own attorney got charged by his Department of Justice. So if the case against you is bogus, well, wasn't the case that your Attorney General, Bill Barr, prosecuted him on, wasn't that bogus too?
Well, it's interesting because, I've noticed that a lot of the Trump supporters make it a partisan issue, right? Because he's the president. However, the former president. However, just because of whatever position that you have in society, that does not make you above the law. And if you committed crimes, you should be prosecuted for those crimes. You should not be treated differently because of whatever position that you have in society. And frankly, not just that lawyer, tons of Trump's lawyers, right? If we even talk about the Georgia indictment, it's tons of his lawyers have been charged with felonies and tons of them have pled already. And so it's insane to me that a criminal trial is about what party you are associated with, when it has nothing to do with that. This is the criminal justice system. This has to do with pursuing justice. And you cannot commit crimes, and just because of whatever position you hold, that you're not held accountable to those crimes, including the violation of that gag order that was instrumented through the court.
Yep. And how about this here? If you don't want to be prosecuted, don't break the law. I know that sounds like a novel concept, but it's kind of basic.
Fanbase is pioneering a new era of social media for the creator economy. This next generation social media app with over 600,000 users is raising $17 million, and now is your chance to invest. For details on how to invest, visit startengine.com/fanbase or scan the QR code. Another way we're giving you the freedom to be you without limits.